When I say trans men can be lesbians or trans masks can be lesbians or date lesbians, one of the first things people say is usually, okay, well then how do we change the definition of lesbian because it's supposed to be non-men loving non-men? And I would encourage you to think about defining sexuality in the same way that we define gender. 50 years ago, we defined woman as someone with a vagina. Now we realize that that language isn't inclusive, so we say anyone who identifies as a woman is a woman, not someone who identifies as a woman and wears dresses to prove it, or someone who identifies as a woman and goes through hormone replacement therapy to prove it. We just assume that if someone uses a label in good faith, that they're probably a woman. The non-men loving non-men label was taken from Tumblr in 2014 as a way to revise the lesbian label to be more inclusive. And the other critique is, well then cis het men can call themselves lesbians. Okay.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
So that young woman, I think, we just heard from in the first clip, who was sweating profusely for reasons unknown, just said that the definition of the word woman changed from 50 years ago than what it is today. I don't think so. I think the biggest thing that's changed over the past 50 years is the amount of mental illness in this country, right? Am I right? Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this is Chelsea. Now, Chelsea is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a lesbian. Now, what I thought we were looking at here was two fast food joints, Wendy's and McDonald's, got together and had a love child, but apparently I'm wrong. It's just another transbian who uses the ladies' restroom. What?
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
All right, let's keep it rolling with some politics as usual. So today we're going to start out with this Joe Biden supporter, and yes, shockingly enough, there are still some out there. Then we're going to move to our TDS, also known as Trump Derangement Syndrome segment of the video. So this young fella says he's riding with Biden, and that he would crawl on shards of glass to vote for him. This should be good. Roll it.
Was he my first choice for 2024? No. Will I still go vote for him, even if it means I need to go through fire and crawl on shards of glass in order to get to the voting booth just to keep the fascist Republicans away? Abso-fucking-lutely. Let's do this, Joe. Riding with Biden again.
All I can tell you, sir, is that he's gay.
Gay, gay!
All right, next up we have this angry little fella who thinks that Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans are the racists. Didn't New York Governor Kathy Hochul just say the other day that young black kids don't know what computers are? Anyway, the comment says, support what? Question mark, question mark. Change is coming by Go Trump Go 2024. Roll it.
This is for educational purposes only, and I'd like to address this comment from Jim. Jim, looks like you have a little bit of color on your skin. Do you know that this turd, orange turd ball, hates you? He hates the ground that you walk on. He does not want to see you walking the earth. He hates everything about you. Doesn't even know you, but because of the color of your skin, he literally hates you. He's a racist fascist. He is running the MAGA cult, and the MAGA cult hates anyone that is black, brown, indigenous, LGBTQIA, women, any marginalized group or community. And that looks like it includes you. You can say, no, you're wrong, and support these people. But I'm telling you, with everything that I know, if he gets back into office and all of his MAGA cult followers get this power, you and I are dirt. We're nothing. We're scum to them. And they will do nothing for you. Absolutely nothing for you. They will throw you in the trash. They will use you and abuse you for what they need and throw you in the trash. They cannot stand you. Do you not understand that? I do not understand, and I will never understand why any women, people of color, LGBTQIA, Indigenous, anybody, any marginalized group or anyone in a marginalized community will support anyone like him or anyone that supports him.
Are you fucking dumb?
And you ain't black.
All right, let's stick with politics for just one more minute here because this next clip is fairly interesting, and it's only fair that I show it since I've shown several clips in the past of actor/comedian Michael Rapaport saying the dumbest shit. And I still think he's a clown. However, he might be on some kind of redemption arc here. And he even recently admitted on the PBD podcast that he was duped by the Very Fine People hoax, that he now knows what the media was saying about Trump in that situation was a complete lie. So let's hear him out. Now, the bleeps in this clip were added previously. I didn't put them in. Roll it.
Smoking Joe Biden. Cadaver Joe Biden. You know who I am. You know my work. I'm the one who came up with, I'm the one who invented stain Donald Trump. Pig Donald Trump. That's me. That's my work. I didn't ask for a thank you. I didn't ask for an invite to the White House, and everybody and anybody shows up at the White House these days. I did it for the love. I did it for the love because I couldn't stand that and you dumb old you have the you bat old you. You're not sending weapons to Israel during a war while American hostages and hostages from 22 countries are still in that You're not sending weapons now, you dumb Let me tell you something. I never, ever, ever thought I would say this. Okay, but I could promise you this right now. Smoking Joe Biden, Cadaver Joe Biden, me, Michael Rapaport, I'm not voting for you. You're not getting my vote. And plenty of us also ain't voting for you, you. I said it once, and I'll say it again. This is why voting for stained Donald Trump, pig Donald Trump, is on the table.
Oh my goodness. That's the most badass thing I've ever heard.
Well, what do you guys think? Is Michael Rapaport turning over a new leaf or what? I mean, sometimes it takes people a while to wake up and get to where we're at, so maybe we should cut him some slack. Then again, maybe not. Anyway, next up. So this young lady is about to list off a bunch of new gender identities or sexualities. I'm not sure which, so get your notebooks out. Roll it.
Hi, my name's Queenie and my pronouns are they, them. When I post about my gender identity and my sexuality, when I say that I don't want any labels, that is not an invitation for you to speculate on who I am or what I am. It's not a guessing game for you to play over whether I'm a girl or a boy, about what's in my pants, or if I'm pan or bi or trixic or homoflexible or gray romantic or anything else. You don't need to fully understand the nuances of gender identity or sexuality to know that each person knows who they are better than you ever will.
What the hell did you just say?
Or if I'm pan or bi or trixic or homoflexible or gray romantic or anything else.
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds fucking retarded.
All right, next up we have this young lady who is going to tell us about xenogenders. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly what that means, but she mentioned something about identifying as a star. The comment says, "Can you talk about xenogender? I'm open-minded but having trouble grasping the concept of xenogenders like plush genders, frog gender, star gender, etc." Roll it.
We literally live in a capitalist hellhole. If somebody doesn't have the correct words to express how their gender identity feels, and the best way they can describe that is, it feels like a star, my gender feels like a star, okay, valid, sure. I really don't see the problem at all. My only asterisk, or like my only little note, is if you use a lot of neopronouns interchangeably, and this is not to crap on neopronouns, I'm reading a lot about gender studies, I have been lately, I'm having my own little gender identity crisis, and neopronouns might be something that helps me personally, and that's a different TikTok for a different time. The point is, neopronouns are valid, but if you use a lot of them interchangeably depending on how you're feeling that day, be patient with people. Rapid change like that can be difficult for a lot of people, and especially people with learning disabilities or other disabilities. possibilities. So just be patient, maybe work on ways that you can express the pronouns that you're feeling that day, name tag, bracelet, earrings, different things. You are still incredibly valid, you just maybe need to be a little bit patient while the rest of the world is catching up.
I don't know what the you're talking about.
Hey, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. While I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, this young lady with the pink hair is wearing a jersey that says Fatties for a Free Palestine. I'm not making it up. That's literally what it says. Watch, she's going to show you. See? Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our first sponsor is our great friend, Brian Tresser. Brian, once again, sir, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the kind words, generosity, and support. Second sponsor of today's video is our great friend, Deshaun Charles. You will recognize him in the comment section as The Shizzle. And last but certainly not least is Patty Howen. Patty, thank you so much for sponsoring yet another video. I really appreciate the continued love and support. So once again, today's video sponsors are Brian Tresser, Deshaun Charles, and Patty Howen. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, we've all seen enough of this. Get this off the screen, please. Oof.
That's a huge bitch.
All right, next up we have this slightly rotund young lady who is going to tell us why the male gender should be obliterated. They come up with this shit. Roll it.
Why the male gender should be obliterated. Number 1, creepy old men at gas stations. I don't even need to explain this one. Number 2, trucks. And I know some of y'all girls are gonna be like, I love trucks. Jack me up, boy. If you're a girl who likes trucks and no, you don't, you're lying. You're lying for attention. Stop. It's not cute. Number 3, frat boys. Gross. 4, the motherfucking wage gap. It is 2020 and I'm still gonna get paid less for doing a better job than a man? No! Sorry, I got a little heated on that one. I don't really know what happened. And number 5, Matthew Morrison.
Yeah, she was a big girl, sir.
So if you thought that young lady had a bad take, wait till you hear this one. This fella thinks that tornadoes are only hitting certain parts of the country because we're on stolen land. Roll it.
Well, good morning, Kansas, the day after the storm. Yeah, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, a rash of tornadoes. But you know what's kind of ironic to the storms? They're only hitting sundown towns. Why are tornadoes hitting sundown towns? Yeah, too much land. You're on stolen property, America. Wake up and see the power of God on this Tuesday.
Are you stupid or something?
Now, sir, hear me out. Weather's always been a thing. Bad weather's always been a thing. Natural disasters have always been a thing. I don't think God's trying to smite anyone because they're on stolen land. Anyway, next up, one can only assume that this person is a big fan of corn. Roll it.
Are you cornmeal? 'Cause you're my corn crush. If you were butter, I'd melt you on my popcorn. If you're a corn chip, I'd dip you in my salsa. Are you cornmeal? 'Cause you're my corn crush.
That's fucking weird, huh? Holy shit. What the hell was that all about?
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with yet another clip of Joe Biden versus the teleprompter. Ron Burgundy ain't got nothing on old Joe. I mean, can somebody make it stop, please? At this point, it's not funny anymore. It's just sad. Anyway, he says somebody's name, Riley or something, and then he says last name, which is obviously in brackets, but he goes ahead and reads it anyway, just like he did last time with the word pause. Pause. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
My theology professor at the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name, and he had been drafted by the Green Bay Packers.
Say what?
My theology professor at the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name.
What an idiot.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure, true international effort to pressure, true international effort to pressure.